Hey guys, it's me, Johnny Kerms 2000 here. Welcome to my continuation of Capcom Arcade Classics Volume 1. And my previous video, if you guys haven't seen it, I provided a brief history of the Strider series. So now we're moving on to my actual Let's Play of the Striders, the original Strider game for the arcade. And this game, if you have never played it, is rather difficult, but it's actually really short. What you guys won't see here is my, just editing out countless deaths. I'm good at this game, I'm not the greatest. But anyway, here we go with stage 1. This is St. Petersburg in Kazakhstan. That's where this level takes place. And if you've never played Strider, it's basically just a platformer hack and slash. So, you know, you have your jump button, you have your attack button, where you use your what is known as the cipher. That's Strider's sword. Really awesome. You can climb walls. You have your options there. That's option A. Surrounding me, that little robot that looks like a mushroom. Every time you hit the attack button, it will shoot out. I highly suggest, if you're going to play this game with the intent to beat it, you try to get the options and stay with the options. Like, keep them out. Now, the way this works is that, as you can see in the top left, my life bar, I have 3 rectangles. Every time I get a new option, it fills one of those rectangles with red. Now that's the life bar of the option. So if I get hit, which I think I'm about to get, yep, right there, I lose my option. And here's the semi-boss. His name is Strobaya. I will own him in 2 seconds. Booyah! And that was easy. He can be a bit tough if you're not ready for him. He kind of lunges for you, and if he grabs you, he will throw you to the wall and hit you. And not fun. That is no bueno. But here we go, we continue on. The bird that you guys just saw is option C. I believe it's option C. Basically just a bird, a hawk. And what it does is, it's not like option A, where it just follows you around and you can attack. When you press attack button, it attacks. It's a little differently in that it'll attack any airborne enemies that are around you. This is option B, the tiger. You may recognize it from the Marvel vs. Capcom series as one of Strider's supers. It basically just follows Strider around, and it'll just basically own everything. And as you can see there, the hawk came back and now is destroying everything. That's what it does. The unfortunate thing about the tiger, or the saber-toothed tiger, is that it's not permanent. It actually only stays for a little while before it just reverts back to 2 separate option A's. This is Novo. This is just like a little machine that shoots out lasers, really. Shouldn't be too hard. Just stay ducked and you'll be fine. We continue forward, just keep slashing everybody, and now we're at the council where we meet General Mikhail. And this is called the Ouroboros. It represents the communists. If you can see there, it has the hammer and the sickle. As long as you just pummel the heck out of the front part of it, you'll be fine.
Strider Hiryu, he will never leave Eurasia alive. I got you.
You gotta love how, like, those audio clips just overlap over one another. Anyway, we move on to Siberia, and now we're dealing with these wolves. These random wolves. And here you just want to slide under. And here we meet Mechapon. As long as you cling to the ceiling, just keep spamming that attack button, you'll be completely fine. He won't get you. And the guy that we saw there, his name is Solo. The guy who said, I got you. And he's a mercenary, sort of the same way that Boba Fett is. If you can imagine that. I think he was actually inspired by Boba Fett. And he will be showing up randomly, or not randomly, but he shows up in 2 levels. He appears in this level and he appears in the last level. And he's going to appear right here, and I highly suggest that you try to kill him here. He's really annoying because he has a jetpack, so every time you jump up and try to attack him, he'll like zoom up so that you can't get him. But again, I highly suggest that you try to destroy him here, because what happens is that if you don't destroy him here, he'll show up later when you're facing the boss, the final boss of this level, and it can be so annoying trying to deal with him and the bosses. There's 3 bosses, by the way, so that's not good. And here you just want to run down this hill and then up and jump over, and you'll be fine. Here we get to this big electrical machine. Just want to spam the attack button because all these wolves come out of nowhere. And here what happens here is that the screen goes black, and like these like this lightning comes out of nowhere, and it's easy to dodge. Honestly, you shouldn't have any problem dealing with it. So it doesn't take that much skill. Again, most of this stuff, the thing with Strider is that most of the time it's not necessarily the hardest game in the world. It can be annoying, it can be a bit brutal sometimes, but it's more in the case of if you can beat it once, and you remember like the traps and stuff like that, you should be fine. Anyway, here we go to the last part of this level. You go on top of these airships that are known as the flying tortoises. I kid you not, that's what they're called. And you just go from one to another, dodging these grenades, or these bombs rather, that are being thrown from the sky. You can destroy them. I suggest that you try to, because it can get annoying. After a while, they stop being dropped just completely vertically, like up and down, and they do go sideways, so it can throw you off a little bit. And I just get completely owned in this part. I don't know what happened. Usually I'm a lot better than this. And here I'm missing the ledge, so I'm just getting completely owned. As I mentioned before, guys, this is not a completely perfect run. I do die. I do edit out deaths. This game is hard. Even though I know this game, I've beaten it a couple times already, I still get owned at certain parts. There are just certain parts that no matter how many times you play it, it'll still give you trouble. But anyway, I suggest you try to kill these guys right here. And we're introduced to the Kunyang MA team, martial arts team. You may recognize them as Tong Pu was a helper character in the original Marvel vs. Capcom. And here she is right here. And as I mentioned before, if you didn't kill Solo in the earlier part of the level, he would show up there, and you would have to face the Kunyang martial arts team along with Solo, and it's just completely annoying. Anyway, we go on to the flying battleship Balrog, which is a huge battleship, obviously. Again, I suggest that you try to get as many options as you can. Try to keep them as long as you can. The more that you have, the easier the things will be. I promise you. And here's a little bit of trivia here. If you go all the way to the left, as I will attempt to show, and you destroy these missiles, these giant bullet things, if you go all the way to the left, you'll find this little panda. I don't get it quite in the shot there. If you can pause it there, it does come up. But it will award you 400 points. This is the only level in the entire game that it's actually in. It's kind of like a little, you know, what the heck moment. But it's a nice little addition, I think, kind of hidden there. I do believe that the history of that, like the background, the reason why it's there is because somebody snuck it in without the producer actually knowing about it, which I thought was pretty cool. Here you want to climb up this Mega Man X style ascend, I guess. You just want to go back and forth. That's the fastest way that you can get up there. I guess Strider did it first, so shouldn't be saying the Mega Man X style. And here, if you get, it's when I first saw these, I was reminded of the little launcher things in Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh god, I think it's 2. They work the same way, where if you stand on them, they just fling you over. And in this case, if you're caught in one of those, it will fling you off the ship. So try to avoid those if you can. And here we're playing with gravity. Oh my god, guys, gravity. Mega Man and Sonic did not do it first. Actually, did Mega Man do it first? I'm not sure. I'm thinking of Gravity Man, but I'm not entirely sure what year that came out. But anyway, we move forward and we go on to the next boss, or the first boss, I guess, and this is the anti-gravity machine. So yes, it is more play on gravity. And the thing with this one is it's going to be a lot easier if you have the options. As I said, everything is made easier the more options that you have with you. And what happens is that this big ball-looking thing just goes in circles in the middle of the stage. If you get close enough to it, like I did, it'll grab you in its gravitational pull, and it'll just swing you. And it won't do anything unless you stay there. And after it flings you around itself for a while, it will fling you to the wall and hurt you. And this pathetic guy was Captain Beard Jr. He's really a pushover. He does absolutely nothing except hit you with a whip. Really shouldn't be a problem. and that is Grandmaster Meio. So now we move on to the Amazon, and the Amazon is unique in that if you stand still, there are like these fungus mushroom looking things that will start to grow out of the ground. So if you stand absolutely still, not doing anything, fungus will start growing in the ground below you and it will hurt you. As you can see right there, the little thing that I just hit and it kind of like exploded, that's the mushrooms that I was talking about. And we're also introduced to the Amazons, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. They're really annoying because of the sound effects that they make. You may be hearing them right now and just screaming for them to shut up the same way I was the first time I played this. They shouldn't be that much of a trouble, even though I'm getting completely owned right now. But they do throw boomerangs and stuff, so you should be watch out for that. And they are a lot of them, so unfortunately you get the item right there and you get full health. And you might want to watch out for these vine looking things. I don't know what they're supposed to be. And holy crap, we're riding on the back of a brontosaurus. So anyway, for this part you just want to stay on the back of the brontosaurus. He does actually have a name. It's not brontosaurus, it's something else, I think. You can go on the ground, but then you run the risk of running into tyrannosauruses and Amazons on the backs of triceratops. Did I mention how awesome this game is? Anyway, you jump over to this side, you go on top here, you want to get on this vine, and holy crap, mechanical dragon. This guy is named Lago, and Lago is rather challenging. He does require a certain technique to kill. You can't just slash at it. The weak point is the jaw, so I suggest for this level at least, just stick around the top there, and just spam the heck out of the attack button. Gotta love that overlapping audio, I swear. I do appreciate that they do talk in their native language. Like, they are talking in Mandarin, they are talking in Spanish. I do believe that was Russian. So that's a big plus. Not to mention that at this time, you know, voice acting in video games was not that common, so that's another plus. Anyway, here we go to the third moon. This is the final level. I did mention that this game is hard, but it's relatively short. And here we're going to go to somewhat of a boss rush. I will say this, there is an optional... Oh, by the way, I'm convinced that you cannot beat that guy without getting hit. It may just be me and I may just suck, but I've never been able to get past him without getting hit. That guy with the machine gun. But anyway, holy crap, upside down. As I mentioned before, there is an optional boss battle with, I believe it's the Kunyang martial arts team. Except instead of being red, green, and blue, it's all black. But I have never been able to find them. And holy crap, I fell up. Don't know how that makes sense, but I fell up. And the good thing about this game, though, is that it does have a lot of checkpoints. So if you do die, like I did just there, you can just respawn. And as you can probably tell, I haven't mentioned it because it's not really a big deal, but there is a timer on the top of the screen, so you do have a time limit. But as I said, you always have checkpoints, so that should really never be a problem. And here I am completely doing this the wrong way. You're supposed to wait until they come all the way out. I forgot that you can actually go through the bottom, so that was a fail on my part. And here we go. This is the anti-gravity device again. Same way as I did before. There is a little bit of life back there, so use that. And just spam the heck out of the attack button and wait for this fail right here. You go all the way down, we fall down, and crap. Yeah. Fortunately enough, the checkpoint was right there, so no big deal. Here we go to Novo again. This one actually does require a little bit of technique. As you saw there, you just crouch when the laser is coming towards you, jump up, grab to the ceiling, and you should be fine. And here I did another little bit of a fail. There's Solo again. I got hit, and holy crap. The bad part is that I actually reached the point where the checkpoint, I guess, activated. It's really not that far, so I do apologize for doing that. And here's just another boss rush. It's the mechanical Tyrannosaurus, which we didn't get to see in the Amazon, but that's pretty much what they look like. And Mechapon, which you fight at the same time. The Tyrannosauruses are spawn infinitely, so you're going to watch out for that. And here's Lago, and this is the technique that I was talking about. This is how you beat him when you're on the floor. He has a basic pattern. He jumps up, he shoots out his claws, he shoots out those dragon-looking things. What you want to do is you want to jump up, hit him before he shoots out the fire things, and when you land, he always shoots out his claws twice. So just remember that. He always shoots out his claws twice. And here we go with Ouroboros one more time. You do have to fight him, but not yet because we have a cutscene. Somewhat.
All sons of old gods, die!
I love that. But anyway, right here, you can't really do anything. You just ride on top of the Ouroboros. As I mentioned before, he is a sign of communism, the hammer and the sickle. After a while, though, he is vulnerable, so I suggest just spamming the heck out of the attack button. He will die rather easily again. And here we go. The final boss is Grandmaster Meio. Grandmaster Meio is a pain. This is probably the part where I used up the most lives, and I edited out so much. So you're welcome. I really don't have any strategy as far as how to beat him. Honestly, most of the times that I have beaten him, it's just been plain old luck. Unfortunately, he has this stupid thing where he flies around and those green laser things follow you, but after a while they will create enemies, so it's not simple. I suggest just spamming the heck out of the attack button. The item on the right gives you life, the item on the left gives you a longer slash, so use that accordingly. But anyway, that was Strider, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and holy crap, giant whale. And Strider, being the complete badass that he is just gonna go over there to the awaiting whale, land on its back, off his flying hawk thing, and just land there and just pose and be cool for the remainder of the credits. So anyway, guys, that was my Let's Play of Strider, the original one for the arcade. I hope you enjoyed it. I love this game. I absolutely love this game. If you've never played it, I suggest you play it. It is hard, but it's not impossible. If you keep playing, if you keep going forward, you will beat it. And the fun thing is that I find that after you've beaten it one time, after you've beaten it the first time, it becomes a lot more fun as you progress. So as you can see there, my scores. And yeah, that was Strider. I absolutely love this game. This was one of the games that I really wanted to do as part of the Capcom Arcade Classics Volume 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you haven't seen the first part of the Strider coverage that I did, be sure to check it out. Of course, the link will be provided. It shows you a brief history, so if you don't know who Strider is and you want to get to know more about his series and what he's been doing since his days in the arcades, I suggest you go check that out. Otherwise, of course, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want more videos in this series, the Capcom Arcade Classics Volume 2, or more videos from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know what your experiences are in the comment section. What do you remember best about Strider, playing Strider for the arcade? Anyway, guys, I hope to see you next time. Of course, wait till the end of this video and I will show you what the next game is in the series. This has been Johnny Crims 2000, and I will see you guys in my next video.